Hello everyone, and welcome to the 5th episode of Star Trek Online, Battle for the Alpha Quadrant. As always, I am your host, Ice, and today, we are not on Omega. We are on Antilles. I know last episode I said we'd probably be using him for the Davidian series, and I still intend to do that. But this mission is one-off, so I thought I'd introduce you early. Unlike my other two characters, he is in no way spec'd for damage. He is a tank. In fact, I just got out of an Regulus Sector Block red alert, and practically the only thing they could do to kill me was a plasma energy bolt. I was tanking hundreds, dozens of ships, and just not caring. So, the combat might be slower in this ship, but you will not see me die. So, today's episode is Researcher Rescue. Starfleet has lost contact with the Federation Science Station in the Cathay system, in the Cathay sector of the Regulus Sector Block. Because all communications from Cathay 2 must be boosted by a satellite that compensates for metrion isotopes prevalent in the system, it may be that the communication array is in need of repair. Please make the necessary repairs to the communications array and re-establish contact with the science station, and you get vendor trash weapons. And here we are at the Cathay system. So let's go ahead and patrol it. See what's going on here. Captain, there are multiple Gorn ships in range of the communications array. We'll need to deal with them before we can assess the damage to the array. Shields up! Prepare for combat! Why? Oh, you mean these Gorn ships here?
Warning, ship is under attack.
Now this character is a Federation engineer, the one class you haven't seen yet. And engineers excel at healing, buffing your allies, debuffing, or not really debuffing your enemies, but they're actually kind of fun. They're not the easiest thing to play, but they're not the hardest. They're fun. And of course, they're not by far the most powerful. That still goes to tactical officers, because tactical officers are OP. And I did not know that Naga fighters dropped photon mines. How odd. If I'd wanted to, I could have used point defense, but that would have been pointless defense. But, And this is beam fire at will. It's the beam version of cannon scatter volley. It's just there to get their attention so that they'll all shoot me, so I can take their damage.
Target shields have failed.
This guy's role in combat is to take as much damage as possible and keep dealing it until everything else is dead. It's not supposed to kill people by having damage. It's supposed to kill people by being the last one standing. The only flaw I find with this build is that I didn't have room for tactical team. Oh well.
Target shields have failed.
I mean, if this were Omega, this fight would have been over long ago. Still, I said I was going to use all of my characters, and I'm going to. And shields are back to full. Go ahead and scan that satellite. Captain, the communications array has been heavily damaged by the Gorn. At this range, I should be able to contact the research station on Cassie 2. However, the station is not responding to hails, and scanners are detecting signs of a fire on the station. Sir, the researchers may be in trouble. Recommend we send an away team to the surface. Not so standard for me. I've got 2 tactical officers and 2 science officers. The only reason I have that is because I wanted to have my android tactical officer and my Jem'Hadar together. And this guy's an engineer anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Let's go ahead and beam down to Cassie 2. And then I'll introduce you to Buff Squad. Oh, you're running up to me. Help us, please! The Gorn, they just stormed in and started shooting. Tell us what happened. The first sign of trouble was when we lost contact with the communications array. The Gorn beamed in and started shooting. They destroyed our computer core and took thousands of artifacts we've spent years collecting. Then, as if destroying decades of archaeological research weren't enough, they started setting fires. What are you researching here? Captain Jean-Luc Picard and the crew of the USS Stargazer discovered ruins from an unknown civilization here almost 60 years ago. The Federation Science Council has been researching this site ever since. It's a fascinating find. There's more than 40 kilometers of catacombs under this facility. We've barely managed to explore a quarter of what we think is here. 2 years ago, we found a star chart in the catacombs that indicated this civilization had been in contact with interstellar travelers more than 15,000 years ago. The chart led us to another site on Cassie 4, where we found the most extraordinary artifacts. If we're correct, the race that once lived here may have been an advanced proto-reptilian race. Lizards. Why would the Gorn attack here? The Gorn have extremely long memories, Admiral. Thousands of years ago, the Gorn hegemony ruled this entire sector. In their minds, that means that everything on these planets still belongs to them. Their alliance with the Klingons has inspired them to start rebuilding their empire. Every planet from here to Cestus 3 is in danger. Did everyone escape the fire? Not everyone. There are several members of our team still unaccounted for. Please, you must find them. The Gorn destroyed our automated fire suppression system in the initial attack. You will find fire suppression devices on the walls that you can use to fight the fires. Okay, beam her out. And this is Buff Squad. T-888, he's a Terminator, he's an android tactical officer, spec'd for damage. 8 of 17 adaptation subprocessor of Trimatrix 907. I decided to get a little creative with my Borg names on this character. Gorgon, same Riemann Bridge officer as always, and Omitiklan. I can't remember where he's from, but he's another canon Jem'Hadar, and he has the Ketracel white buff. I didn't mention this on the other ones because I hadn't replicated any white in a long time. If you give your Jem'Hadar's Ketracel white, it gives them a damage and damage resistance buff, or damage and max hit points buff. So it's a good idea to have some white on you. And of course this is Antilles, engineer, and I've still got bunker fab, so I'm gonna go ahead and I'll go ahead and swap to fabrication engineer. Just like my tactical officer, I've got 3 kits that I use with this guy instead of the usual one. And I don't know why, but I can't take a fire suppression device. Could be a bug. Hey look, Gorn. This is the first time we faced Gorn on the ground, I believe. The Gorn's special gimmick is that they don't have personal shields, but they take a ton of damage. And of course there's a handler, which is like a Targ handler, who won't stop spawning these attack SARs. So we kill him first. And engineers make turrets. That's a duty officer power. I'll explain those when I do the duty officer system. Of course it was the Gorn. You were surrounded by them. Get some Gorns for me. Basically what engineers do is they build things. They make things that make them go. They can also make things like medical generators for area heals. They're kind of useful. They're kind of fun to play, once you get them right anyway. This is a quantum mortar. This is a phaser turret. This is a pulse wave. By the way, I'm using a shotgun. Yes, shotgun. They destroyed everything. I can't thank you enough. No, you cannot. And again, we can't take the fire suppression device. Maybe I have one in the bank and I've forgotten about it or something. Oh well, doesn't really matter. Not like we need them. So I wonder, do we? Yes, we do. For the duration of this mission, I'm going to be using a special weapon that you get from the end of the Breen arc. It's called the CRM-200. The secondary fire acts as a fire suppression device. So we've got a plasma shooter and an ice shooter at the same time. It's either very hot or very cold. There go, and the quantum mortar's starting to go up, but they're all running away. Where do you think you're running to? Now, unlike on Rygo, my Borg bridge officer isn't using a pistol. He's actually using the, well, I like to call it a proton pack. It's a synchronic proton distortion prototype assault rifle. I'll go over that more when we get to the Davidian arc, because we're going to be playing through the Davidian arc on this guy. Basically, it's a Ghostbuster gun, and the Davidians are ghosts. You saved my life. Now we got the CRM out. Go into shooter mode here for a second, and right click. See? Puts out fires. Basically, you just shot a cone of liquid nitrogen at it. And I mean, why not? It's a fun weapon to have. And you're unguarded somehow. Get some Gorns for me. Put a container. Klingon food. And Klingon coffee, which of course is delicious. If you've watched Star Trek Deep Space Nine, you'll know how much of a fan Captain Sisko was of Rectigino. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna have a little bit of fun. Just a little. Here's to you, Captain Sisko. I drank the Rectigino. It's not really worth selling. I mean, they're pretty cheap. It's vendor trash. And there is a graphical glitch with the CRM-200 secondary fire. Sometimes it'll make it look like it's going off if you fire again, even if it's a different weapon. Okay, so there are 2 more scientists that we need to find and rescue. I don't quite remember where... There one is. Oops. Don't you just love shooting liquid nitrogen? Safe at last. Yes, yes you are. Do a little bit of parkour here because I'm lazy. You run these. Ah. You're surrounded by fire. Pretty fire, but dangerous nonetheless. Boom. Thank you. And we're done here. Captain, the researchers we rescued from Casse 2 say there's another team at the dig site on Casse 4. I attempted to contact the dig site team to verify that they are safe, but I'm not receiving any response. Recommend we check it out, sir. Back to the Deliverance. Don't you know the mission's far from over? Course laid in for Casse 4, sir. We can leave on your command. Warp to Casse 4. Preferably not through the asteroids. Good. So, attempting to establish communication link to Captain. Gorn ships detected. They're powering up weapons.
Warning. Ship is under attack.
Oh look, Gorn ships. Well, ship.
Target's shields have failed.
And now you are hearing the Malrihan theme. One of my favorite tracks in the game, definitely. But it is played oh god, support vessel. I fucking hate... And that's why I hate support
Warning.
vessels.
Ship is under attack. Target's shields
That
have
thing
failed.
will screw you the hell over. And it can only be killed with torpedoes. There was an episode of TNG with something similar where the Enterprise was trapped in a starship graveyard and this thing was draining the Enterprise's power and would have eventually killed everyone on the ship. Well, in this game, it's more annoying. The gimmick of the Gorn in space is they're very position-oriented. I mean, they rely on a lot of positioning. A lot of their stuff is stationary. And it's times like this that make me wish I still had torpedo spread on this boat. So note to self, do not use fire at will. I don't know why I just braced for impact. Also, yes, that acetone assimilator is draining my power very slowly, and now there's two of them. Fan-fucking-tastic. Fortunately, it doesn't make me much less indestructible. No. Target the... Yeah, that's what acetone assimilator does. You shoot it with energy weapons and it hurts you. A lot. Oh, they self-destruct after a time. Okay. That's good news for me. And here come more photon mines.
Four shields failing.
I dare say the Gorn are better equipped to fight me than the Borg. Not that it really matters. Engineering Team 3 saves the day. And then Ox to SAF 3 to finish it off. I'm just going to clear these out because I don't like them. Just going to set you on auto fire for a while. No. Bad idea. No, stop firing.
Hull integrity below 75%.
See, this is why it's a bad idea. This is why I am very heavily prejudiced against support vessels in the Gorn NPC fights. They drop these. There we go. Everything is peachy keen again. Scanning for additional hostiles. It appears the ship is safe for now, Captain. I've located the dig site on the surface, sir, but there is a high-intensity energy field surrounding it that our sensors cannot penetrate. I can beam an away team to a location outside the field, sir, ready to transport on your command. Let's go, Boff Squad. Time to show them why you don't mess with us. Which is going to be even worse than normal. And we're going to swap weapons again. Captain, there are 3 shield generators maintaining a field around the central building. If there are any members of the archaeological team in this area, that's probably where they are being held. If we disable their shield generator, we should be able to get a lock on the archaeologists. That's my attempt to do an audible Borg collective voice. Ladies and gentlemen, meet the best melee weapon in the game. The Tholian Crystalline Sword. This character and Rigor are the only 2 that have it so far. But oh dear God, is it powerful. It drops all pretense, it's a lightsaber, and I'll probably show you why here in a minute. Provided any of these guys decide to use energy weapons. Which is a distinct possibility. Okay, everyone. See, that's the secondary. That squiggly blue beam is the secondary fire of the proton distortion rifle on my Borg science officer. It's a proton beam. It does more damage when the Davidians are phase shifted. It's also an exploit power, and it can vaporize like 4 people at the same time. It's actually a really fun weapon. I gave it to him because, why not? So you see those red lines? These things are generating those red lines. When all of those red lines are gone, we can proceed with the mission. I know. Ah, I got stuck. Pardon me, I'm being a noob. Allahu Akbar! And leap. Yes, I am turning invisible a little bit. That's the two-piece Jem'Hadar set. Thank you for vaporizing the mate. No, I want to slash this guy. Come back. I'm not done killing you yet. Basically, whenever you're getting shot by anyone, if you're doing a sword combo with this, it'll absorb the energy, and it glows like a lightsaber. I'm trying to get it to proc, and it's usually pretty good at it, but not this time, apparently.
Enemy targets on sensors. Flanking damage detected.
See what I mean by vaporizing, people? Oh god, a handler. Hate handlers. Screw this guy in particular.
Enemy targets on sensors.
Oh, there are two handlers. That's even... And there we go. I've got the green Jedi lightsaber. Funny little graphical bug with this sword. Swap to another weapon, you've still got the glowing thingy. It drops all pretense. This is a lightsaber. The buff lasts for about 20 seconds, and it literally absorbs the energy, so if you're getting shot by a phaser, you do extra damage as a phaser, and it has the phaser proc. I just absorbed Disruptor, so it could proc the Disruptor proc, and it deals extra damage. That's what makes this sword so effective, especially against the Borg, because they can adapt to the extra damage, but not the base. It's 50 Lobi on the Lobi store, which requires you to open a few lockboxes. Still, worth it. Okay, why aren't you dead? Oh god, barrel roll. Oh look, graphical glitch because I was lagging. Yeah, I just slid forward. I've got ice skates, can't you tell?
Enemy targets on sensors. Flanking damage detected.
Good job, 8. Honestly, I love it when I give my buff something like that. It's some of the few weapons that they actually know how to use. Another Dominion lockbox. A Rawik. Do I want to? Yes, I do. Time to show you the engineer special power, everybody. Yep, orbital strikes. Literally, you say, fuck this area in particular. Oh look, there are Gorn inside. Screw you, because I'm going to try to run up to you. Good job, 8. Honestly, giving 8 that gun was the best idea I ever had. And of course, my second best idea was giving T888 Mark 11 dual plasma pistols with a couple of damage mods on them. Because have you seen how much damage he does? Seriously, this is probably my most fun boss squad, because 2 techs, 2 science officers, and then I'm the one popping down the turrets. Don't know why I don't play this guy more often. You need to stop targeting my turrets, because that's bad, okay? And you need to stop living, too. I heard that's real bad for your health. Screw over the handler, guys. Ophidian Cane. Area of effect lifesteal. I'm literally absorbing Gorn's souls to heal myself. You get that at the end of the Davidian arc. It's a limited time reward like Gollum was for the Romulan arc. Kinda powerful. Always nice to have. I am a Jedi, like my father before me. Well, my father was a colonist on Jurway 4, so... And I'm dead. Defeat the Gorn Captain. Wonder who that Gorn inside the facility was. Guess we'll never know. We could attack those guys, but I don't feel like it. After all, we already cleared out a side. We don't need to clear out all of them, I don't think. Hodge. And he's seen us. Call down another orbital strike. No hole in the ceiling. Gonna use Neuroblast on you. Gonna go ahead and pop my drones. See? Engineers get to spawn exocomps. Royally screwed his day over. My boss decided to go a little wacko. And as you can tell, I'm a big fan of plasma. Just the idea of lighting people on fire. You dare to challenge me, you die. He's dead, Captain. These are Gorn claw marks, sir. The other hostages are in great danger. Not now, Sanu. I've got a lockbox to pick up. And a raw weak to kill. He's just like, I'm gonna hug the ground now. Support drone, seeker drone. And they're both gone now. Sad face. Not like we need them anymore, though. He's dead, cat. Wait. Ops. Captain, we've detected Gorn starships approaching from the far side of the planet. We've locked onto your signal and can beam you directly to the bridge. Damn right, you're gonna beam me to the bridge. Yeah, I've got a Ferengi tactical officer. Got a problem with it. You are meddling in affairs you do not understand, Admiral. This system was the home of our ancestors. It belongs to the Gorn by ties of blood and conquest. We will not allow grave robbers and thieves to desecrate hallowed ground without punishment. Prepare for death. There's a reason I'm doing the voice like that. You'll see it when we finally get to the Cardassian arc. That's a long ways away. And I'm just not going to put up with any of his crap. I'm going for maximum damage resistance. If you hit me, you are doing nothing. See that stuff coming out of the back of him? That's warp plasma. If I fly into that, I basically can't move. It's really annoying. At least it's not an aceton assimilator. Fight's done. We only have to disable this guy. He gets to live, I guess. Sir, we're locked onto the hostages, ready to beam them directly to sickbay, your command. The researchers have asked that we leave them here, sir. They say they want to do what they can to recover their research and assess the damage done to the ruins. Starfleet will be willing to send a team to assist them. We can leave the system whenever you're ready, sir. Not now, because we can hail Starfleet. If the archaeological sites in the Casey system really are from a proto-Gorn culture, we will have to weigh carefully the knowledge we gain versus the Gorn claim to their own history. The Federation Science Council has a lot to consider, Admiral. For now, though, I'm glad the researchers are safe. Good work. Thank you, Mr. Trill, possibly Undine. Admiral Asshole. I don't like Quinn. Quinn gets on my nerves. And that is all for episode 5 of Star Trek Online, Battle for the Alpha Quadrant. Again, I am your host, Ice, and I will see you from the bridge of this Odyssey-class Star Cruiser. See you later, everybody.